Inkproducts.com has now released its newest Black Tower ink refill system for Epson's new line of printers, the Workforce 7710, 7720, and 7210. We're going to get everything in the system. Now I've already had the system in. I'm going to redo it again for the video. You're going to get these little brackets we make that's going to hold the ink tank at the proper level. Because a lot of these printers have a double tray and you got to raise up the ink tank to draw up the ink. But we came up with a better way. These little brackets will help. You're going to get the main hose bracket, one little bracket. You'll get some syringes with special tips should you ever have to prime up the system. You're going to get the latest COC Smart Chip. We've already tested against firmware and everything worked. We even downloaded the newest firmware. You're going to have one little bracket here. I didn't take that off. We're going to put it back on. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to the printer. And then what you want to do is you want to go to Settings. There you go. Then Maintenance. Then go to Ink Cartridge Replacement. Hit Start. It's going to tell you to lift the scanner. I'm going to lift it up. Cartridges are going to come over. These are the Epson cartridges. We're going to take them out. Okay, now before we start, I want to point this out. When you first get your system, sometimes ink can get into the isobaric chamber. So I want you to lay it down just like this. And just rock it a few times. All the ink that's in the isobaric chamber is now going to go into the front chamber. Stand it up. Okay, now we're going to take out the Epson cartridges. You're not going to have to take the cover or nothing like that off. Like I said, it's a very simple install. Five or 10 minutes, you should be done. Okay. Now, I can take the cartridges. And by the way, when you get them, you're going to see we have a light shield on the back. Very important. Because down in these printers, they have a sensing light. And then, you're going to see the seals have been broken. Because we test every one before we ship. All these are tested. So now you can't just drop them in because you have the cover go down. So you're going to actually slide this. And open the cover again. Okay, and you're going to slide it right up in there. There, just like that. Then you can straighten out everything. And you're going to set it in there. Get it down in there. And push real hard. You want to click these in. There you go. There you go. It's all clicked in. Now I can close the cover. But when I do, I want to make sure the hose comes off like that. So, close the cover, straighten the hose out, like that. Now right here is where we're going to put the hose, main hose bracket. It's got a two-sided tape on it. I recommend always cleaning the surface of the printer with rubbing alcohol. The reason is there's mold release from the plastic. Sometimes the tape will just peel right off. And that's going to go just like that. Right? Even with that right there. Even it up just like that. Peel and stick it right there. So this edge right here is on the edge right here. That's the proper location. Okay. Now I put the hose coming right on up. Gone through, coming back. It's going to come back out this way. Then I lined up this clip right here. So it's lined up just like that. Peeled, and I stuck it right here in the center. Now I'm going to put on these little brackets that we make. They're going to be like this. Okay, now in the back of the ink tank, you're going to slide them through each side. One here and one there, and it's going to hook on and hold it, just like that. There. You can see this comes right out here. Just hooks it right on. keeps it nice and safe. It's the proper height from here to here. Everything looks good. Now, the very next most important thing is to open up the air vents in the back. That's important. You can take it down from here to fill it, but when it's up there, you got to have these open. Now, to fill it, you would close off the small air vents and open up the big ones and fill it up. Now, sometimes people use syringes to do it. I make a little pour cup, and I actually pour my ink in. So that's up to you. However you want to get in, it's very simple because right here is a little reservoir. So when that plug is in the back, you open up the big one, you can just literally watch the ink rise right up here. Okay, so that's in. Not going to hurt anything. You don't have to worry about boxes or anything else like that. And then we'll just line that up over here. Coming out. Now I just got a little bit, just a little excess right here. Just like that. Now in the kit we're going to give you a little jumper plug, just so you can watch everything move back and forth. But you don't have to leave it in. That's going to go on the interlock switch, which is right here. Now the 7210 has one also, so does the 7720. So I'm just going to push that in. So then it's going to think now that the lid is down. And you can see it's starting to move. When it comes over here to the extreme right, then we'll adjust the hose when it stops. Now I'll point it out. It's going to point out that you've not installed genuine Epson cartridges. That is correct. These are our XL cartridges with the smart chip. Now, I'm going to take up a little bit of this slack. Just a little bit. I pull back on it just a little. Not too tight. Not too tight. But that looks pretty good. Then I can go down here and take up the slack. So it's like that. Okay? Now, because I've had it in the printer, you can see I've already got the exclamation marks. Plus, they're not Epson cartridges. So, I'll say okay. Then I got to go proceed. They want me to say that, yes, I want to use the cartridges. Now we'll go back and forth. Press OK. Now I'll print out a nozzle check. Now this is our Ultra Pro pigment ink. We also make Ultra Pro sublimation ink. You're going to be doing sublimation printing. But the printer comes with a Durabright, which is a pigment ink. That's what this is. This ink that we sell cannot, will not ever clog your printhead. I can guarantee that. If you're using good quality ink, an Epson printhead does not clog. So this is one of the latest by Epson where we had a working chip for. Some of them, there's no working chip on the market for them, so be very careful before you buy an Epson. You check our website. If we're selling the product, now if this product shows out of stock, that means we're working on a chip, but there's no guarantee we'll have one. Okay, now it takes about 2 minutes for it to go through its priming. It's setting up, it's priming the printhead. So after this is done, it'll print out that nozzle check. Nozzle check. It takes, like I said, about 2 minutes for it to do its setup. Very quick. Then you check that. Now before installing, you always want to check the nozzles, make sure they're working correctly. Looks good. Everything looks very, very good. That's the latest firmware. I just downloaded that. It's not the firmware that came with the printer. That's the latest firmware right there. Okay, now I can take this out. Close down the lid. And I'm back to the main screen. I'm going to go over here to setup again. I'm going to supply status. They're all full. A little bit here you can see I've been using it. But that's how much I got to go yet. See, when it codes out, or when you get cannot recognize the cartridge, then you'll open it up, cartridges will move over, you reach in, and you squeeze the little button 4 times, like that. That's it. Reset, close the lid back up, it just resets it. You can only reset it when it says cannot recognize. No other time. Now you notice, a lot of people don't know this. This is your maintenance box around the back. It's a brand new machine. I just unboxed it. It's already used that much from the priming and the cleanings that the printer does when you first get it. The box is around the back. We sell a chip resetter in a box. Or you can reset the chip on the Epson box. I'll show you that in a second. Box with the chip on the side. Now we also have a replacement chip and box too if you wanted to get that. But you can take the Epson, get our chip resetter, lay it down. When it says that it's full, you can come over here and reset the chip. Now, let me point this out. It's not full. It never will be full. It's just a way for them to make revenue, sell you a new box. You can pop this off here, and then you can see in there's only little cotton pads like, and the ink gets squirted in there, and then the liquid evaporates and only leaves the dye behind. So why throw this box away? Just because a dumb chip told you that it was full of ink, which it's not? Okay, now I took the top off. There it is. That's all that's in there. These are like little cotton pads. Some people put a little bottle in there and it catches it, but you really don't have to. Because what happens is, as it's like your frost-free refrigerator, the liquid goes right down in here. And then over time, it starts to evaporate. Now, it does leave a little gooey mess down there, but it's not going to flow over the top, spill all over your table. And then these things you can snap back on again. There, and then just put it back in. There's the chip. There again, should something happen to the chip, you can get our chip in our box. You carry the resetter for the box, so you can get everything you need to keep the printer running. Because once it shows it's full, you cannot use that printer. So bear that in mind. Make sure you have a plan, because someday you're going to be printing along, it's going to pop up, and then you're not going to be able to print till you get either go buy another box. I don't know what they're selling for Epson, but I'm sure they're quite a bit of money. Okay, now I put our box in the back there, and I left the Epson box out because that box I was using in another printer. So I thought I'd swap it out, but I'll show you. See, that's gone down that much now. When it gets down almost to the end, which is close to what, 15%, then you'll be resetting the chip and it'll go right back and you can continue to use it. So that's another product. If you want, if you need it, you can go to inkproducts.com. Okay, this screen will pop up because you're not using genuine Epson. So all you're going to do is go down the bottom and hit continue, and then you'll be able to use it. Set the ink levels, but it's going to take too long. I'd have to print hundreds of pages. So read the instructions that come with it, the printed instructions. I'll explain it there even in more detail. Although really it's just when you get cannot recognize, just push the button 4 times. It'll reset all the ink levels at the same time. This is Ultra Pro Pigment ink. We have Ultra Pro Sublimation ink, which most of the time does not require profiling. That's how simple it was to install our Black Tower ink refill system for the Epson 7710.